will never turn his back on you. One person will never walk away from you. One person will always be by your side regardless of what you do. And his name is Jesus Christ. And that's what we got to remember tonight. So going on with the story, what happens is he works out, he gets out with the pigs. He hires himself out to work with the swine, with the hogs. And he gets so low. He feels so bad. He's to the point where it's so terrible that he gets down on his knees with this swine and he thinks about eating with the swine. He's so hungry, he's so wasted, nothing left, and he thinks about eating with the swine. The worst job that he can possibly have. But if you notice, he went down on his knees. And sometimes when it gets so bad, when it looks like there's nothing left, when it seems like there's no good, God is up to something. When you have nothing, he's up to something. So on his knees, he looked up and he said to himself, he said, now why am I out here with this swine? Why am I having this job? Don't my Father have everything I need? Don't he have everything I can turn to? He has everything that you need. So he says that, why am I here? Can I go home? And tonight is come as you are. So if you imagine this guy had wasted all good that he had. He was down with the swine. Imagine somebody that's been rolling around with the swine, the stench that they have on them, a terrible smell. He had been out in this storm. He had nothing, so he probably hadn't shaved, hadn't put on no deodorant, didn't have no money, didn't have no place to go, so he hadn't showered. He probably had a little drink, so he smelled like alcohol and swine. Ain't no telling he might have been smoking anything. So he has this terrible image, this physical image. But he depends on Christ. He looks up and says, my Father has everything that I need. So he turns and says, then I'm going to go home. People, tonight is the night to come home. No matter how you smell, no matter how you look, no matter what situations you're dealing with, no matter how bad your grades are, no matter how much your friends talk about you, no matter how much the world talk about you, tonight is the night to come as you are and come home. Are y'all with me? I don't think nobody with me here. Don't nobody in here have no issue. There's nobody out here that has no problem. I guess none of us have ever struggled with alcohol. I guess not. We're on a college campus. We don't see no alcohol. We're all saints. We don't see no alcohol. There's no weed around here. There's no fornication around here. Is none of this stuff going on?
Going on, bro.
Somebody got to fill me up in this place. We got to get a little loose. So to get the understanding, he goes on and he says, well, I'm going to go home to my Father because my Father treats his servants way better than I'm being treated right now. See, we out in the world and we feel like the world has everything to offer. But Christ treats just his little servants so much better than the world treats his best people. I told him one time that when you're in the world, you feel like you're in the front, but really you're in the back. You're in the front of the back, if that makes sense. You're behind all Christ's people because his people are first. They are the head. So you in the world are in the front of the back, which means nothing because can't nobody see you. So going on with the story, he gets there, he starts heading home. And he says, Father, I have sinned against you and I have sinned against heaven. He says, I sinned against you and I sinned against heaven. We all have committed sins. Paul said that we all fall short of the glory. There's not one person in here that's perfect. There's not one person in here that can judge you. He said that I sinned against heaven and I sinned against you. So now he's heading home. And when he's heading home, his Father sees him from afar off. See, Christ can see you when you start coming. Nobody knows what you do at home when you pray, but Christ knows. Nobody knows what you're doing when you walk in the class and it seems like everybody else in the world think that you're talking to yourself, but nobody knows these things. Christ can see you coming from a long ways. Some of us right now on the edge of our seat, just waiting to be pushed towards Christ. He can see you on the edge of your seat.
Come on now.
He can see in your life where you want to get better, but you're afraid to let go of the wild living, the prodigal living of the world. You got to let go of those things. There's nothing in the world. What is a man to gain everything in the world but lose his soul? Hell is real.
Come on, man.
Hell is real. This is not a game. Just like the young man said about his testimony, life was short. It was a 17-year-old kid in his room doing his schoolwork and he dropped dead. The enemy is not playing. But see, Christ, he holds us. Every one of us is here for a reason. Every one of us have had our life spared for a reason. Because he has a work for you. You got to understand, you're not here by chance. This is not a coincidence that you're here. You're here because he spared your life for a reason, because he can see you coming. So going on with the story, when the father seen his son coming, he seen him from afar off. And when he started seeing him, he started running to him. Y'all feel me? He was running to him. Christ don't wait. He'll run to you. At that moment, he would take off running to you. So it said that the father ran to him with his arms wide open. And he continued to say, Father, I have sinned against you, and I have sinned against heaven. He's not worried about that. Once you ask for forgiveness, he no longer remembers it. It is gone. Thrown into the sea of forgiveness. We got to understand that. No matter what you're doing right now, no matter where you just came from, no matter how many times a week you go to the club, go to the fairgrounds, like Juwan said, go to the Cattleman, the 1, 2, 3 club, whatever clubs that we got around here, the front porch, the double branch, no matter where you go, at that moment that you decide to come to him, he will not meet you halfway. He will run to you with his arms open. And this son, as he was coming with his arms open, he came as he was. He didn't try to clean up before he got to Christ. You can't clean up. You can't get saved before you get saved. That makes no sense. Are y'all feeling my drill? There's no such thing as being saved before you get saved. You come to him as you are. Don't try to hide the cigarette because you see Jesus Christ. Go to him with the cigarette. He'll knock it out your hand. What you hiding it for? He already knows. He knows everything. Don't try to put the bottle to the side on Sunday. You drink all night Saturday. Why you going to sit it to the side on Sunday? Come to him as you are. That's what tonight is all about. Nobody in this place can judge you. When we get ready to have this altar call, you need to come for you. Because it is a personal relationship. No one else can go before the throne for you. Not your mama, not your daddy, not your sister, not your auntie, not your uncle. It's a personal relationship for each and every one of us. Nobody who's out here keeping you warm right now, holding on to your arm, they can't get there for you. You got to get there for yourself. You got to come as you are. No matter what's on your mind, no matter what goes on. God don't judge you by your grades. He don't care how your hair looks. He don't care about your nails. He don't care about what your feet smell like. He don't care about none of that stuff. You come as you are to him. He's not worried about how many times you had unlawful sex. He's not worried about how many